The game was created by Pixieblink, and this is his Patreon page, and it was first posted at 95 Zone in January 23, the year 2022. The game history. A quick disclaimer, this part of the review is spoiler free, but later I will talk about the history of the game with spoilers. Your character is a massive language nerd, and he knows a lot of dead languages. His mother figure is a nun. She is the person that taught you all those languages at the orphanage. One day, a mysterious person calls you and say you should go to the church. Your character tries to call his mother, but she doesn't answer. So you go to the church and find out someone has been killed there. At first, you get desperate because you think it's your mother, but soon you realize it's another person. At the church, you find out a priest was the one that died. While there, you will meet a cardinal that explains to you that the priest that was killed was studying and translating a book. And the cardinal has a close relationship with your mother, and in her behalf offers you the job to translate the book. Without spoiling, that's the main hook of the game. Gameplay. It is a visual novel, so that means that you have a lot to read and not much to interact with. If in case that is not your cup of tea, that's fine. Art style and graphics. If you're like me, you probably played a lot of adult games. If so, you notice the graphics are okay. Nothing bad or amazing, they are okay. You can see for yourself. Negative points about the game. In general, I did not find anything bad with the game. Don't get me wrong, this game is not perfect by any means, but his execution is solid. Positive points about the game. The history of the game is solid. The author, Pixieblink, knows when something is not serious and when something is serious. So in general, the tone of the history of the game is really consistent and good. Now I will be talking about some special mentions of the game. The first one is, since the game is new, there isn't much content yet, so depending how fast you read, you can finish the game in 3, maybe 4 hours, tops. In case this is a turn off for you, you just have to wait for some updates. The second point is, in the game, there is 2 nude scenes that have watermarks saying, this is a public free version of the game. If you want the uncensored version, go to my Patreon. They still show the nudity, but you also have the watermarks. I did not put this in the negative points of the review because this only happens in 2 scenes, and I'm playing the free version. In this case, I don't think I have a lot of moral authority to complain about this. The third point that I'll be talking about is teenage coding. In a nutshell, if you don't know, is when a form of media like books, movies, anime, and so on shows someone is above 18 but dresses, behaves, and acts in a way that clearly resembles a teenager. In adult movies, sites is the teen category. She have a mandatory nude scene, so if you don't like that, duck you! You don't have a choice! My advice for people that want to make adult games is, every time you make a scene that is questionable in any way, shape or form, you should always make it optional and highlight what is gonna happen in the choice. Believe me, you can dodge a lot of criticism. If you make questionable scenes, optional. Point number 4. The game don't have sex scenes. It has a lot of nudity and sexual tension, and one handjob scene in chapter 6, and that's it. So if you're gonna play the game, do it for the plot, and the nudity, and the sexual tension, and the handjob. Now will be the spoiler talk, so if you want to see my rating without spoilers, you can skip to this timestamp. 3, 2, 1, go. Remember that I told you that this game don't have sex scenes? One of the reasons, at least for now, is that your character will become a priest with the help of a magic ring that a statue will give it to you. Some of you may say, this is an adult game. A priest having sex is not an absurd idea at all. And I agree with you. But what surprised me about the game is that we are in chapter 6 and there is no sex scene. If you exclude the handjob, of course. So maybe, just maybe, you can be a priest that don't have sex in an adult game that has a lot of nudity and sexual tension. And I'm kinda losing my mind because if this is executed properly, it could work. Maybe the game could have 2 routes. One could be the traditional, that your character have sex, and the other you could be forced to use a chastity cage, where the nuns take turns holding your key. So each chapter would be focused in the main plot and the nuns or the person that have your key.
That's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Look, I'm not naive. I know that 2 different routes is double or could be 3 times the work. So Pixieblink has to analyze the business side of the investment. But one thing I know for sure, this game has potential and I'm excited about it. I have 4 rating systems for games. Play right now, give it a shot, you may like it, I like it but you won't, and no thanks. Right now, this game is a solid, give it a shot, you may like it. And if you're still here, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.